Okay, 1999, good luck. That should be green there. 540 games are rapid for my opponent. I've done 250, although I've done many thousands in Blitz and Bullet. So play a Carol. Oh, I nearly did a mouse up and played a Sicilian there. Not to worry. It is a new mouse I'm using. Well, it's the same as my original mouse, a Logitech G203, but I've got a brand new one. I think I've got the settings set exactly the same as before, but it might be just slightly out. So a little bit more of a risk of the odd slip. So I'm just trying to get developed bishop out somewhere in castle. Just all very standard in the carrot. Obviously it is 10 minutes each though, so we need to both slow down at some point and play at the right speed. Okay, so trading here is all very standard. Go with the rook. Oh, it takes there first. Okay. So, am I better off taking then? Take. I'm wondering whether I can play a move like bishop up and try and trap the knight by hitting the rook. Take. Knight takes. Bishop up to hit the rook. I guess you can come up and attack there, but then I go here, you take, rook across. It feels like that's better for me. I'm going to do it. It might be worse, but I'm going to do it. If it's worse, it's worse. I've got the option to take the knight. Do I take the knight first? Then here, tempo attacking the rook. The idea is to then come across. You can still hit the bishop, but I think I win a pawn. If I go here now, you've got knight up. Rook across. Attack the bishop. I guess I just drop back. Can that knight there support the other knight? I don't think so. So here, knight up, rook across, say a pawn up. I just take the knight, don't I? So if here now, rook up, I can then take, then across. I'm going to get developed anyway, I think. Depends what my opponent does here. He has gone for the knight up. Okay. So we're going to play across and attack the knight. There is a square here, but it's going to bring the pawn across. Or I've got the option to take this way. I'm not sure which is best. Actually, maybe I just castle here. If I castle, knight down is covered. But take, you've got an advanced pawn. That's going to be difficult to defend. I'm going to get castled. I've just got to watch out for bishop here, so I'll have to move a rook somewhere. Or I can take the knight straight away. That's what he's gone for. So if I just take the knight, I'm attacking a pawn as well. So I'm going to take... I don't mind if you take and go here. I'm going to grab the pawn. Obviously, I'd like him to take now. It gives my king a development square, potentially. So rook across. Just try not to get a piece trapped. That's obviously key now. Just got to try and not get a piece trapped here. So, yeah, I was expecting rook up there. So maybe I can just simply drop the bishop back now, get it out of Dodge City. Otherwise, a move like knight across is a move. What if I go here first though and immediately pressure the pawn? I guess you're going to have to attack the bishop. Then I can get out of the way, right? Or I can go right across, but I think I should come here and pressure the pawn and then get the bishop out of the way. Because there is no rook up to pin the bishop in one move now. So there is a threat to capture another pawn. We're up one pawn. So either rook can go across, but the right one we go here. This one, we can at least get our bishop back. We've got multiple options. It might be better to go to a4, stop the pawn push and challenge this diagonal. That might be better. Then at some point we can hopefully start advancing our own pawns, because we both got a nice advanced pawn here. It's whether we can keep them. Okay, the knight's come forward. Now, does that create an actual threat? Knight there. And I can't defend my pawn, but I can step up. Knight check, king up feels alright, but I could just drop the bishop straight back. Obviously, there is a potential to come forward. So what if I take... Again, a rook can go across, but then I assume I can just simply double my rooks up and I've gained a second pawn. Gain a pawn, say a rook across, rook over to double up. We can then move the bishop out the way. Knight here creates a back rank mate threat though if the bishop moves out the way. So here, knight here. I'll have to push the pawn forward to try and protect it. It's then whether I can run out. I think I can. I'm going to grab the pawn and try and move the rook across, but if I then have a rook here and I move out the way, there's a back rank mate threat like I said. So here, knight check anyway, king up, knight check doesn't seem to do a great deal, so I'm going to go here, but my king's got a back rank mate issue now because there's no square to go forward to. So I step up and attack the knight. But rook across is a threat as well to try and go after another pawn. So knight hits the rook, but if we go across, or can we come down? No, the knight's not getting trapped, you've got a square, so I'm looking at rook across to create another threat. And I don't particularly see what white has got there. You'll have to try something like this. But I can maybe just push a pawn. I'm going to go there and create a threat. Okay, he's pushed forward. So now I've got bishop back to attack the knight and try and kick the knight back. Then maybe the bishop all the way back. Or I could just play a rook here. And then what do you do? Actually, rook here and it stops this as well. So rook down, if you attack the bishop, a little bit perilous, but I think I'm alright. But I could just go here first. Knight back, then rook down. I'm going to go here first and attack the knight, see where it wants to go. I'm getting low on time, aren't I? Miles down on the clock. So I've used my time early in this game, so I'm going to have to play the second half a lot quicker. So king up feels very natural here. There's no checks from the knight. But I may be driving the knight to a decent square. But it feels natural though. King feels safe here. That's covered. That's where the knight came from. Here, I think I go here. Knight back, I can just worry about moving the rook. I can even drop right back if I need to. Then get the bishop out of the way somewhere or other. Not sure where yet. Oh, he's played rook forward. Okay. So what if I just simply go here now and look for a trade? You've then got a knight check at the end. But it feels alright. What about a move like pawn forward now? I'm going to do it. Just attack the rook. You've got to defend your knight or you'll lose it. There's no knight check either way. So I'm going to try and march the pawn. Oh, now he's gone there. That just loses a pawn at least. So I'm just going to take and take. So now if I drop back... Actually, I might as well... Well, if I go here, I kind of restrict the knight, but I'm still in a little bit of an awkward position, but... Let's do it and see if it encourages pawn forward, and then try and plant the bishop. But we're up 2 pawns now. Still pressure this pawn if the rook wanders off. Threat to simply capture. Okay, attacks the rook. So now why can't I just grab the pawn? There's no knight check, so I think I can. So now we're up lots of pawns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 versus 2. That should be winning. If I can put this on a light square and protect it, then they're forever protected. It's just about the clock then. Right, well, let's do the first step, get on a light square. So I've got the option for a one move protection move. Okay. Well, now I can come here and attack the pawn, but if I go here, if the knight moves, I can attack both pawns. But now they're protected. Still got to be careful. A move like knight in, but I can start running the pawn as a distraction and just sack this one in effect. But what if I go here now? How do you guard both pawns? I don't think you can. Just attack both of them. Okay, it pushes forward, so I assume I just collect. Okay, now just collect again. And just come straight back if you take. Actually, maybe I just walk forward now. Do I march forward? Say you've got knight back, I just check. Knight back here, I just start running this pawn. Okay, let's march forward and just run both of the outer pawns. As long as I can keep some of the pawns protected, it should be winning. Again, there's no knight check now. Just start running everything. So attack the pawn. So we guard it with a tempo. Okay, that's a very good win.